Howdy, 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 my name is Anachi Sasuke, and welcome back to Let's Read the SCP Foundation Wiki. I said that I was thinking of continuing this after Halloween, during which I attempted to play the SCP Containment Breach game, but it had just updated and promptly crashed. And the video was corrupted, and I might come back to it someday, I don't know when, but I do still want to continue reading the wiki because it's interesting and it'll just help me learn more things about the things. So in the last episode, I'm positive that we at least covered the cola bottles, but not Bess. So we're going to start with Bess and hope I haven't read it yet. Alrighty then. Bess is safe. Due to his docile manner, minimum containment procedures are to be applied to 208. 208 is to be housed in a 10 by 10 meter room decorated in traditional Egyptian style, furnished with a single couch and a stereo system stocked with music of North African origin of any era. Surveillance is to be maintained during all movement outside of containment. 208 is approved to operate at Site 17's medical wing. Oh, okay, the sculpture of him. I thought that was the SCP and was really confused as to why it would need a couch. 208 appears to be a short, stout man of Egyptian heritage, possessing a great deal of hair over much of his body. Along his brow is a mane similar to a lion's in shape and color, which grows down to a significant beard. 208 typically wears an Egyptian tunic similar to that of typical Old Kingdom military, although occasionally this is replaced by modern military fatigues. 208 is capable of inducing rapid cellular regeneration and reconfiguration within organic life forms, which amounts to the ability to quickly and effectively heal most physical ailments. Why haven't they used him on the guy that can't die? This is performed by a unique form of electromagnetic radiation released from 208's body, which acts on a wavelength that oscillates with 4 degrees of freedom rather than 3. Okay. The electromagnetic radiation displays unusual pulse phenomena. Furthermore, the energy of the radiation decays over distance in a fashion incompatible with the inverse squared model. Okay, I don't know what that means either. This radiation is emitted from 208 naturally in small doses and can be released in greater amounts when focused. Personnel have noted that being near 208 provokes a feeling of wellness and ease, making him quite popular with the ladies. I mean the security staff, I mean the ladies. This radiation also possesses the ability of warding off ill intent to the point of acting as a physical barrier to naturally malicious beings. Like that weird giant cowheart with the British accent, hopefully. If this guy can stop that thing, awesome. What causes this is unknown, but MRI scanning of Class D personnel taken from death row in the presence of 208 detected an unidentifiable pattern of neurons firing. This activity coincided with a feeling of extreme unease on behalf of the subject as he tried to flee the secure containment chamber. It is speculated that the neural activity activates the acute stress response in human subjects, stimulating the fight or flight instinct. What causes it to affect non-human subjects is still unknown. Despite his appearance, 208 is jovial and friendly to staff and enjoys the company of others. Due to his good-behaviored willingness to cooperate, 208 has been permitted access to most common areas within Site 17. Known to most staff as Bess, 208 has been adopted as an assistant in the medical wing of 17. A position he seems to have fit into naturally. 208 is also fond of children, I thought that said chicken for a second, and has been noted to be very protective of what he considers the innocent. The only thing to inspire aggressive behavior from 208 has been snakes, for which he's expressed a deep hatred. 208 was originally discovered in Blank, Egypt, during a search for SCP Blank along the Nile River. While SCP agents began digging into sediment in the Nile Delta, Dr. Blank spotted a foot sticking out of a riverbed. Further excavation revealed that it was connected to a great block of granite. Recovered and brought to Sector Blank, 208 was exhumed from the stone after surprising a researcher who discovered he was still alive. After examination had been concluded, 208 was moved to Site 17 as a safe class SCP. Addendum 208A. A comparison testing of SCP-500 showed that it still serves as a much more effective cure. 208 commented that he still tells better jokes. I guess, I imagine 500 is the weird robot doctor thing. Okay, now it's time for the Sadist Tumblr. Yeah. Well, it's Euclid. SCP-209 is to be held in a 0.5 meters pressure-sealed storage locker room, insulated to prevent any potential aroma from release to the surrounding area. Access to 209 is limited to a single Class 2 or higher staff member for any transport. A standard security detail should accompany any transport of 209 at a distance of at least 23 meters. No more than one human subject of any classification should be within the minimum safe distance of 20 meters of 209 at any time outside of a research trial setting. As current hypotheses regarding the function of 209's active phase indicate enticement to use through olfactory manipulation of some kind, smells good. Any staff assigned to a research trial or security detail should be equipped with personal air filtration devices rated at Foundation standards of at least Euclid 3, HEPA filter oil resistant. Research has approved the use of a prototype modular keycard system, SC Passport, for 209 storage locking mechanism. The keycard for SCP-209 storage is modified with a proximity alarm and deactivation protocol to enforce the single-user-only containment mandate. If more than one human subject is detected in the proximity of both the keycard device and lock, a level 1 containment breach alarm will be sounded and the locking system disabled to prevent removal of 209 from its storage locker. Now let's find out what it is. 209 appears to be a single malt Scotch tumbler, 10 centimeters in height and with an 8 centimeter diameter at its widest point. The tumbler shows no manufacturer's marks, but does indicate signs of moderate to heavy use and light wear, including a small chip missing from the rim. When not in possession of a human subject, the tumbler contains approximately 89 to 91 milliliters, 3 ounces, of an unknown golden brown translucent liquid, probably Scotch. Mystical Scotch. This liquid cannot be siphoned, spilled, drained, evaporated, or otherwise removed from 209 by any means other than a human subject taking hold of the tumbler and consuming the liquid. All activator subjects debriefed following a sampling of the liquid produced by 209 reported to be alcoholic in nature and providing a sense of warmth, self-assurance, and general well-being. This effect has proven to be highly addictive, with methadone therapy currently holding the highest rate of success for detoxification from 209's effects. So it's Magic Mega Scotch! For 209 to enter its active phase, 3 conditions must be met. Number 1, at least 2 human subjects must be within 20 meters of it. Number 2, at least 1 of the human subjects must have a normal functioning sense of smell and detect its aroma. Anosmic test subjects have been unable to initiate the active phase. I guess that means people who can't smell. Like that lady with the Nazi bunker in her face. The subject who first detected the odor must take possession of the tumbler and consume any amount of liquid within it, hereafter activator subject. Okay. Magic Scotch drinkers. I don't even know what Scotch sounds like. Sounds like, wow. Tastes like. No, smells like. That's the sense I want. Because I've only ever had it once, and that was like 3 years ago, so I don't remember anything about it. Anyway, once these conditions are met, 209 enters its active phase. The activator subject will immediately seek a relaxing or comfortable position in which to finish the liquid in 209 at a leisurely place. So just kick back, relax, crack open a cold magic one with the boys. And the other human subject within 20 meters of the activator subject, hereafter prey subject, will be locked into 2 distinct physical parameters for the duration of the active phase. 1. Prey subjects will be physically incapable of moving more than 20 meters away from the activator once ingestion has begun. 2. Prey subjects will be physically incapable of moving closer than 1 meter to the activator once ingestion has begun. All current attempts at moving any prey subject beyond these boundaries while living have met with the failure. Any human subject entering the 20-meter sphere of 209's influence after the activator and prey subjects have been established are not affected. Any descriptive word or phrase used in reference to 209 by the activator subject during the active phase will physically reflect upon the prey subject in a variety of ways. Oh. See Experiment Logs 209 6.2 through 33.8, dang, for details. Okay, so activator subjects seem aware of both the boundary restriction imposed on the prey subject as well as the physical effect of their descriptive language, but no matter the scale of physical harm or distress inflicted upon prey subjects, activator subjects seem to retain a light, amused demeanor. It is theorized that the effects of 209 inflicted on prey subjects is intended as a form of entertainment for the activator subject to enjoy while experiencing 209's intoxicating effects. So they get to become a sadist with magical powers while drinking the magical Scotch. Cool. Not really. Not cool, but interesting. When the activator subject has consumed all of the liquid within 209, both boundary parameters are nullified. If still capable of motion, former prey subjects can and do flee the area with as much speed as possible. The activator subject will immediately become confused by the now empty 209 and attempt to refill it with any available liquid. If the activator is successful in filling 209 with approximately 88 to 91 milliliters of any liquid, it will transmute into another glass of golden brown translucent alcohol, and the cycle begins again provided there is another potential prey subject in range. If prey subjects or others disable or remove 209 from the activator before they are able to refill it, 209 will exit the active phase and remain empty and inert for approximately 79 hours before refilling itself by unknown means to potentially begin a new active phase. Addendum. Experiment Log 209 18.4. 3 Class D subjects appropriated for testing. 25 by 25 by 6 meter room furnished with a single steel folding chair and 209. Activator subject designated D-Act. Prey subjects designated D-Prey-1 and D-Prey-2. Log begins 122 seconds following D-Act ingestion of 209. D-Act sees himself in the single chair provided in the room. D-Prey-1 approaches D-Act. D-Prey-2 begins exploring the room's boundaries. D-Prey-1 discovers the inner boundary and is unable to approach D-Act. D-Prey-2 discovers the outer boundary and is unable to reach the eastern wall. D-Prey-1 begins shouting obscenities and attempts to strike D-Act. No effect. D-Prey-2 attempts to map the outer boundary. D-Act describes 209 as smoky. Prey-1 begins coughing violently. D-Prey-2 approaches. D-Prey-1 collapses, racked with violent coughs. An unknown black smoke-like gas is expelled from his mouth with each cough. D-Prey attempts to approach D-Act. D-Act describes it as smooth. They appear to begin sweating profusely. D-Prey-1 continues coughing spasms. Explosion of the smoke-like substance continues from mouth, nose, and eyes. D-Prey-2 exuding a thick layer of viscous, near-frictionless substance from all pores. Substance has eroded clothing and apparently the first layer of epidermis. D-Prey-2 is unable to remain standing, falls, and attempts to staunch the flow of the unknown substance from his pores. D-Prey-1 apparently expired. Smoke-like substance continues to vent from mouth, nose, eyes. D-Act applauds intermittently. Viscous substance exuded from D-Prey-2 has eroded 2 additional layers of skin. Wounds approximate to 2nd and 3rd degree burns. D-Prey-2 expresses desire to be terminated. Request denied. D-Act appears fixated on the remaining liquid of 209. D-Prey-2 expires. Substance appears to cease exuding from pores. D-Prey-1 ceases to expel smoke-like substance. D-Act continues drinking 209. D-Act consumes the last of it, immediately stands and rushes to the body of D-Prey-1 and begins clawing at the corpse with left hand while maintaining hold of 209 with the right. Researchers determine that D-Act is attempting to refill 209 with blood from the corpse of D-Prey-1. Per orders, 1 security staff member enters and neutralizes D-Act, recovering 209 still in its empty state. Okay, so now it's time for the flooded house, which hopefully is less disturbing than the magic Scotch. Okay, it's safe, but it's a house, so it's not like it's going anywhere. The property containing 210 has been designated as Site Blank, because of course it has. The primary responsibility of the guards of Site Blank is to prevent entry by trespassers and maintain the cover story detailed in document 210-01. The servants' quarters adjacent to 210 have been deemed safe for human habitation and may be used for on-site housing. A remotely controlled vehicle is to be sent into 210 on a monthly basis to catalog any changes. Why do all the weird houses have changes in them in this place? Why? Anyway, 210 is a 2-story mansion flooded to a depth of 4.35 meters with an unknown fluid substance. The substance designated 210, what the hell is 2010? 210-01 possesses a refractive index nearly identical to water. Nearly. This fluid is invisible from the outside of 210 and does not flow out of 210 if a door or window is open. That's cool. Any living creature that comes in contact with 01 enters a sleep-like state and begins drifting through it as if neutrally buoyant. Slightly less cool. Beings trapped in this manner are designated 02. To date, blank instances of 02 have been cataloged by remote means. Instances of 02 emit a constant stream of bubbles as if exhaling, despite no source of air being identified, and subjects appearing to breathe as normal. Okay, yeah, it's cool then. I assumed they would just sort of sleep drown. Subjects have been noted to move through 01 slowly as if dancing. It has not been determined if this is under the power of the subjects or of microcurrents within one. 210 came to the attention of the Foundation when an agent embedded in the Blank County Police Department received a number of related missing persons reports. Mobile Task Force Iota 12, damn feds, was dispatched to intercept the investigations. The disappearances were quickly traced to a party held at 210 on blanketed blank 2000-something, with several subsequent disappearances resulting from persons undergoing private investigations. 2 team members were lost on initial contact with 210, the first one entering through the front door and the second while attempting to recover the first. Y'all are stupid. The full documentation of this investigation can be found in document 210-01, which is not here. Addendum 21001. Attempts to remove O2 from O1 have failed, as instances of O2 within which reach the edge of O1 will not travel any further. Instances of O2 cannot be damaged. This property extends to clothing, evidenced by remote attempts to harvest sample material. Furniture and other inanimate objects within O1 behave as if in normal atmospheric conditions and may be removed from the residence. Removed items show no anomalies. Addendum O2. The remote observation of 210 on blank blank 2000 something was unable to locate O207. Note, we have been completely unable to locate 21007 on subsequent observations. A request has been placed for tracking devices in case of further disappearances. Researcher or someone. I guess that was somebody from their task force or something. Paper-covered building. Which is safe, although really creepy looking. Because of the suburban location of 211, the surrounding neighborhood has been vacated through intentional introduction of pollutive industry and redistricting to promote NIMBY sediment. Okay. In addition, the property surrounding 211 is currently under Foundation management and an armed guard has been stationed in the buildings. Unauthorized personnel entering the area are to be terminated on site. A series of explosive charges have been set within 211 and is to be examined every blank days for degradation. Should 211 become overtly hostile, or neutralization is otherwise requested, it is to be terminated by detonating these charges simultaneously. To avoid inadvertent activation of 211's defense mechanisms, extraction of 211-1 should take place at a rate of fewer than blank pages per hour. How come the last one, 210, was 01 and 02, but this one's just 211-1? Probably different writer. 211 is a two-story building, another one, located in the abandoned district of somewhere, Iowa? I think that stands for Iowa? Records from Blank's archives heavily suggest that the building was originally a middle-class dwelling belonging to since deceased or of natural cause. Since then, all furnishings have disappeared save standard light fixtures and a radiator, pictured above. Where? I don't see a radiator. Or is that the radiator up under the paper? Okay. Note that several of these light switches have not been discovered, rendering them useless. Additionally, the building's topography has been nearly completely covered with an estimated something 100,000 sheets of paper, hereafter collectively designated as 1. Given these facts, 211 itself is in remarkably poor condition. Yeah, that'll happen. Severe mold and grime contamination are threatening to collapse a large section of the second floor, and the attempted May 4 demolition C document 211-01 has left a large hole in the south wall of the building. Recovered sheets of 1 may be of various aspects and origins, blank depicting various images, ripped pages from books, most often in encyclopedias or novels, printouts from the internet, etc. The paper may be of any color. In fact, the above picture is of the only hallway in which all the sheets are printed on white paper. Entire stacks of paper have been discovered in the building's basement, whose individual sheets bear little or no relation to each other. Their only real identifying characteristic is that individual sheets' edges are unusually sharp, and that should a portion of 211-1 be removed, more sheets appear from unknown origin as replacement. Research is pending, but so far individually, one's constituent parts seem to have little purpose beyond redacted. See Addendum 211-01 and Defense. Here's a document. SCP status for SCP-211 was established after the building was condemned and scheduled for demolition on the 4th of May 2000-something, when the building attacked the team, hereafter labeled Incident 0. The following is an interview of E.R., one of 4 survivors conducted by Dr. Spinoza. Please state your name and occupation. Interviewee. Employed at blank construction. Well, former employee. Can't exactly do my job with one crippled leg now, can I? My sympathies. Please discuss the events involving the attempted destruction of data expunged. Well, blank construction, that is. We're commissioned to destroy that thing, so we set about finding the best way to do it. We pretty much ruled out undermining for some reason, something to do with data expunged. Main thing is management decides to just use a couple bulldozers to level the thing. Was there any action on the part of the building before you attempted demolition? Not really. We went in there after all, making tests and all that. Found the mold, joked about all that paper all over the place. Only thing that really happened before we started was... Yeah, we were in the basement and someone else, I forget who, started ripping pages from the wall just to check how bad the mold was. Big stack of stuff suddenly drops from the ceiling out of nowhere on top of the guy, and he gets a nice bunch of paper cuts. Thing that got us, though, His gear was all cut up as hell. Cut up as all hell. I mean, clothing, hat, glasses, what have you, all nicked up. Had a pretty big damn gouge in his glasses. Damn good thing he was wearing those glasses, I tell you. And then, well, we didn't like being in a big house of knives, you know, so we got him out of there. Other than that, besides, well, you know, and nothing else happened. And on May 4th, well, we had everything set up and started driving a pair of bulldozers toward the house when all of a sudden all that paper on that one wall outside, right? Well, it just sort of all falls off by itself. Now, I should tell you, that day there wasn't a breeze in the air at all, so we thought that, well, the building's destroying itself and stuff, and we decided to help it along. And all of a sudden there's a big rumble, one you can hear over the bulldozers, and all the paper flies into the air by itself and tears up everything in sight. End of interview redacted. He's probably dead. Document 2. Subsequent to Incident 0, testing was taken to determine the responsiveness of a 211. D-Class personnel were issued a video camera in order to interact with 211 in various ways. Log 1. Order to approach and explore. No response. Interacted with the paper. Nothing happened. Building map of the first floor made. Video 2. Extracted a piece of paper. No response. It appears to be redacted. 3. Order to approach and extract a pile of the paper near the entrance. Before extracting the target, they hesitated and examined a large poster on the wall. When questioned, he remarks that it's a painting that he made while incarcerated at blank and proceeds to pick it up without incident. When he picks up the target, a pile of the paper falls over, landing on him. When he emerges, suffering lacerations to his arms, legs, and face, but manages to extract the collection from 211. 4. Order to approach it and explore the second floor. He enters the building via Incident 0 hole without incident. Funny that. Upon entering contaminated area, steps on a weakened part of the floor which collapses. He exits the building with a broken leg, redacted. Well, at least we know we can destroy it if we need to. Video log 5. D21938 disposable dude issued a pack of matches in order to light a sheet of 211 within it on fire. Data expunged, remains removed from door, but main entrance to 211 is now blocked, leaving the incident hole as the only entrance. Let's not try that one again, alright? I mean, Since collection of 211-1 has begun, several specific books have become identified as their origin. Examples of these are as follows: 19-something copy of Mein Kampf found in the blank public library, a Java data structures book printed in blank, or 19-something, discovered in a used bookstore near Site 17, redacted, currently stored in the United States Library of Congress, 3 printouts of Japanese broadcasts decoded during the Magic Cryptanalysis Project in World War II, the drawing in 21102, and etc. No documents regarding the Foundation have been discovered as of yet, however security has been increased as a mild informational security threat. Recent unexplained phenomena regarding 211 have provoked further study. On the 20th of March 3 individual sheets of 211-1 were found in 211's entrance. Examination of these sheets proved to be Foundation Protocol memoranda addressed to Dr. Spinoza, the interviewer of the previously mentioned blank blank. Upon questioning, Spinoza, who had been at Site 17 regarding another project, noted that the notices had disappeared soon after he received them, adding that data expunged. Since this date, there have been blank other security breaches involving 1, several which involve 211 as subject material. Upgrade to Euclid status pending. I guess, okay, that hasn't gone through yet. So, the Improver. That sounds better than the antimatter parasite, but we'll get to that one when we get to that one. Oh. Use of 212 must be cleared by the current containment site's chief medical officer. I feel like I've read this one before, but it's not very long, so let's do it anyway. Any subjects undergoing operation by 212 must submit to full physical and psychological testing both before and after exposure. Resistance to testing will result in termination of subject. Dang. All personnel are to be kept at least 5 feet from 212 when not in operation. Armed personnel are authorized to use whatever force deemed necessary to prevent unauthorized exposure. Should any personnel accidentally become exposed to 212, full quarantine testing and judicial review will be initiated as soon as the subject is released by 212. Working on Agent Blank. 212 is a large medical device with 3 large robotic arms. The arms have an extremely diverse array of attachments, but no storage area or power source has yet been found. Attachments slide into and out of the arms as needed, with over 500 different attachments documented. 212 is made of plastic, steel, and other common materials. In-depth analysis is pending, as any attempt by mechanical means causes violent action from 212, and attempts made by any biological means normally results with subject's improvement. When exposed to living tissue, the arms of 212 will rapidly move to grab and restrain it. 212 will then begin to improve said tissue. This process is extremely fast, but 212 does not inject any anesthetic or replace any blood loss. The process has been described as excruciatingly painful and can result in the death of the subject at a rate of 47%. Wounds made by 212 are closed with standard surgical sutures and a chemical sealant that is not yet fully understood. Sorry. Improvements that have been observed include lining of joints with graphite, replacement of biological organs with artificial ones, addition of metal plates to bones, addition of newer duplicate organs, and replacement of teeth with small serrated steel bands, among many others. 212 has been shown to be able to totally reconfigure an organism. The improvements appear to be random and can sometimes be detrimental or fatal, as illustrated by one subject's complete loss of bone marrow and its replacement by a gel that is still under study. Subjects wishing to undergo exposure to 212 are to be advised that the process is extremely invasive and that no predictions on improvements can be made. See also an upgrade log. Oh, okay. So I think this upgrade log, this upgrade log might be why I already recognized this but hadn't read the actual thing. Let's see. Right, because I think he was in here and then they took it out. Yeah, here it is. Agent AA, personal data redacted. Severe injuries resulting in traumatic amputation of all 4 limbs and removal. Yeah, okay, so. Okay, now, this makes for a fantastic segue because I was actually intending on continuing the A9 project, or whatever they were calling it. The thing that this happens in, because that was all really interesting, and they rewrote the universe, strangely. And I did, like I said, I did want to go back to that, but I wasn't sure how to go about going back to it. But if ever there was a good segue to go back to it, it's by reading about the thing that caused one of the universe changes. So, that being said, I think I want to end this episode early at the Improver, and the next episode we'll do... Well, the next episode we'll do some more of the A9 project, or whatever it was called. Resurrection A9, I think. We'll do more of that in the next episode, and the next episode we'll continue on with the antimatter parasite, and I'll just go back and forth between numbers and the Resurrection project, rather than just weeks of nothing but the Resurrection project. So... this has been Anashi Sasuke. This is actually, I believe, episode 50 of Let's Read the SCP Foundation Wiki. If you liked it, a like and a subscribe would be groovy. If you didn't, you don't need to do either one of those things. So, thanks for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Later!